Ripple XRP, could we potentially see Gary Gensler being fired? We have a tweet from Warren Davidson talking about this and what we could see for 2024. We also have some news in regards to the spot Bitcoin ETFs and how early they can be traded after the approvals. And we have some news about the BRICS organization and the US dollar. And of course, we will be looking at the price action for both XRP and XLM coin. All I ask from you are two things, which is to smash that like button and to subscribe to the channel as well. So the first bit of big news that we have is coming for Warren Davidson, and he says that 2024 would be a great time to fire Gary Gensler, pass the SEC Stabilization Act, hold the SEC accountable for its corruption, and end the accreditor investor rule that protects deal flow for the donor class. Now, if we have a look at the article that he has linked here, it says that just weeks after the US Supreme Court opened the door to move extensive judicial oversight of executive branch agencies, internal courts, the SEC dropped dozens of those cases, including one that prompted the court's rulings. And the sudden mass dismissal of 42 cases within the SEC's legal system was a result of what the agency calls a control deficiency. And there was a filing a couple of days ago in one of the videos that I made that showed that the SEC said that they made some errors and that there were some lawyers that basically told lies, and we all knew that the SEC was corrupt, and they finally admitted it, and they said that they were going to train their lawyers on how to basically tell the truth, which we all know is stupid because lawyers should be telling the truth before, they should be upholding the oath, and they should only be making statements which are accurate, and if they do learn of statements which are inaccurate later in the future, they should recorrect them. I think that the best time to fire Gary Gensler should have actually been in 2023 in this year. It should have been ages ago when we found out the corruption that he was doing and to be held accountable for it. I think that firing him in 2024 would still be pretty good, but I do think it's way overdue. He's still not yet been accountable, and when he goes on interviews and he talks about the fact that the majority of cryptocurrencies are securities, he's basically harming the crypto market, and he says that he's representing himself and he's not talking on behalf of the SEC. But look what happens when it comes to the price action of crypto markets, and it's pure price manipulation when he talks about that, and he causes financial harm to investors. He should have been gone ages ago in my personal opinion, and the SEC should have been held accountable for its corruption along with that. And it's quite a joke that the US are very much behind compared to other countries, and this is basically where it has currently led to. So the next piece of news that we have is the ETFs. So we have over here, if the SEC approves the first wave by January the 10th at the latest, the spot Bitcoin ETF cannot be traded immediately. Of course, that makes sense because once you have the approval, it could possibly take another week in order for that to be traded once they get the documents done and ready. But Eric says over here that the more I hear, the more that this sounds about right. There have been people saying 45 days of February, but I think that would be less likely. More likely is launched shortly after approval, which is normal, but we'll see, just giving my opinion with the info I have now. So if the spot Bitcoin ETFs get approved on January the 10th, I personally think that they could be available to trade as early as January the 20th. I'm going to give it at least 10 days, even January the 25th. I don't think you'll be able to trade them a couple of days after. I think that we will be having some time in between. And January the 10th, we are not that far away from it now, guys. We are roughly around about 2 weeks away from it, so get ready for the launch. BRICS, Iran, Russia officially ditch US dollar for trade. So is this confirmed or not? Because this is going to be news that is going to change the whole space when it comes to trading with oil and bigger contracts. So it says over here that both Iran and Russia have agreed to trade in local currencies, ditching the US dollar. So this is a pivotal moment for them because when it comes to contracts between both of these countries, they have always been traded in the US dollar, and the fact that now they have ditched the US dollar in order to trade in local currencies is going to obviously have a knock-on effect on the US dollar. It will weaken it because there is no longer that demand between those countries, and the reason as to why this has happened is because of the political tension, of course, that we have seen for the past 1 to 2 years. And Reuters reported that the two nations have now finalized a deal that will have a massive impact on their trade dealings. So I'm assuming that this should probably be taking effect sometime in 2024 when it comes with these contracts. And both of these nations have agreed to abandon the greenback with bilateral trade agreements, and the agreement was reportedly finalized by the governors of both respective central banks. So this has gone to the central banks as well, and it has been signed off. And Iran is set to become one of the BRICS 5 new members in 2024. So currently BRICS, it is comprised of Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa, but Iran is also going to be set to joining that as well. And I believe that we have other countries that are also going to be joining BRICS. I think that the United Arab Emirates is also one of them as well. So XRP coin, we are currently trading at 0.6298. We are down by 0.24% on the 1-day chart. We are so close to that 63-cent level. On the 24 hours, we are up by 27.25% and we are trading at $1.9 billion. So what happened in the earlier hours of the day? As you can see over here, we were trading at around about 0.6497. So we really were that close to that 65-cent level. We then managed to hit it again over here just a couple of hours later, and now we have taken a bit of a dip. The lowest that we went to today was 0.628, but we're not that far off from where we are now. On the 7-day chart, we are up by 2.38%. And if you see over here, from this point at the 64-cent level, we had a little bit of choppiness and we came all the way down to that 61-cent level. Now we had over here that nice spike which we saw today to 65 cents at 0.6534, but we have come down just by 2 cents. I do want to see XRP coin hit 65 cents, but if it can stay within that 63-cent range, then it will still be pretty good as well. For Stellar XLM coin, we are currently trading at 0.1299. We are just on the edge of that 13-cent mark, and we are down by 0.47% on the 1-day chart. For the volume, we are up by 33.35% and we are trading at $148.8 million. So in the earlier hours of the morning, we were currently trading at that 13-cent level. You can see over here we were trading at 0.1308, and if we have a look at the highest for the day so far, we were trading at 0.1356. So we were in that mid-range of the 13-cent level. For the 7-day chart, we are up by 6.16%. The lowest that we went to was 0.1239 and we had that volume of 108.76 million. Now the volume has increased. The high of the day was at 0.1352, and you can see that we have had some nice upward momentum. I would like for it to stay at that 13-cent level, see if it can remain there and be our next support line. However, we may just come back to that mid-range of the 12 cents. Guys, if you want daily XRP and XLM coin news, subscribe to the channel and like the video as well.